What's up, guys? So, wanted to hop in here today and just talk about some things that we've developed with clients recently, some successes, and just kind of go over some of the conversations that we've recently had with our private clients to help give you guys some insights on what you might be facing and some maybe tips and tricks that you can use for your own stuff right now. So yeah, just wanted to hop in here and talk a little bit about that. So let's just kick it off.
Cool.
Cool. So basically, one of the conversations I was having with one of our clients yesterday actually was about the concept of putting somebody through the sales cycle, and I think that's something that we all need to wrap our head around as Facebook advertisers is how can we push people from one step to the next to the next to the next and get them through a sales cycle without sort of any interruptions in that process. And that's why we're such big fans of building out funnels, and you've heard us talk about it many times before, because when you build out a funnel on ClickFunnels, the customer literally, or the potential customer literally, has no option besides leaving the page or going through the sales funnel. And when you have something like a Shopify store, which we've consulted with so many people who have Shopify stores, and this particular client that we're working with right now actually has a Shopify store, but we've also built out a funnel for them. Um, it, when you have a Shopify store and you send traffic to it, what happens is people can add a product to the cart, right? And when they add the product to the cart, it's like they started the sales process, but most Shopify stores are set up in a way that when you hit add to cart, it just goes into the cart and it allows the customer to keep shopping. And at first, this seems like a great idea because you're thinking maybe, well, this person's going to go add more stuff to the cart and then go check out. And that's true in some cases. But the fact is that you're really like leaving that decision up to the the potential customer, and you're not moving them through the sales process. So what we've found and what we've changed on many Shopify stores in the past is we've changed that add to cart button to actually go right to the checkout, and we'll do like order bumps and stuff like on the way to the checkout. But what we do is we make that add to cart button go to the checkout, so we're pushing them through the sales process. So let's say the customer comes in and says like, "Oh, I want to add this to my cart," and they're kind of like adding it to the cart just to do it. Like I know my wife will add stuff to the cart just to save it in the cart, right? But imagine if that add to cart button brought you to the checkout. Okay. And now I think about someone like my wife who's just adding something to the cart to save it in her cart. She adds it to the cart. Now all of a sudden she's faced with the checkout and she's like, shit, should I buy this right now? And that's what we're trying to do, is get you through that cycle of purchasing, right? We don't want to leave you with any other option of this continued shopping or whatever, because what's going to happen is you're going to continue, well, the customer will continue to shop, and then their baby will cry, or their wife will call up to them or something like that, and they have all this stuff in their cart, and then they walk away, they get an email, text message, or whatever, right? So you want to capture them when they're in that moment. And when we've changed that add to cart button to go to the checkout process on Shopify stores, we've seen increases of conversion rates, additional increases anywhere from 5 to 10% on that flow. So it's really the concept of taking someone through the sales process and making sure that they kind of are being pushed that way is such a concept that you need to understand and think about every time you're sending traffic, like no matter where you're sending the traffic.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about, setting yourself up for success and all these different things you can do to have more success driving traffic to your store. And we realize, people don't fully grasp that until we, bring them in as clients and build out this funnel and they see the
Right.
results of how much better this system is. And, to Q's example a little bit ago, not only, are there all these window shoppers online that are going to be coming into your store. They'll add a bunch of stuff to the cart, and like you said, something happened, baby cry, whatever it is, they walk away. But also what might happen is then they finally click, okay, let's check out the cart now and see what's up, and they've added 6 7 things and the price is $250, and they talk themselves out of that, right?
Right.
So it's like, oh well, now I can't choose which ones I want and this and that, so I'm just going to get rid of all of it and not buy anything today. So what we're talking about with the sales funnel and really just driving people to sales is we don't want to be greedy on the very first purchase, and we want to get them to click and purchase from us so that it becomes a real thing for them. They receive our products, we're now a real business that they've purchased from, and they're much more likely to come back and purchase again. And if we can get them to hit purchase and add to cart, get them there to purchase, we can still show them other products, either before or right after they've purchased our initial one. And we're going to have a lot more success raising those average order values by pushing them to the cart, seeing the checkout. Okay, this is the one item I came here for. Oh, now let's see, there may be a couple other options for me that'll work, and I want to buy those. But if you send to your store and just say, hey, feel free to get whatever you want, most of the time those people aren't going to end up buying anything.
Yeah.
So
Dude, that just reminded me of the whole reason this conversation came up with our client was because they had, and this is a great example of like how you need to read data in Facebook ads. They had 12 add to carts and they only had 2 purchases. And so when you're looking at the data and you see like landing page views, and then you see add to carts, and you see initiate checkouts, and then you see purchases, when you see discrepancies like that, like 12 add to carts and 2 purchases, you have to say, what is happening between add to cart and purchase that is stopping them from making the purchase, right? And so that's what brought up this conversation. I said, let's go look at your Shopify store and see what's going on. Okay. And what was happening when they hit add to cart, a little notification says this is in your cart, and it goes away. Right. And that actually reminded me of another client I was working with who was selling like women's clothing, and they sold to like a really older group of women, like pretty much like 50s plus. Okay. And on their page, they couldn't understand why they weren't getting conversions. They were getting all these add to carts, but they weren't getting conversions. When we looked at what was happening after someone clicked add to cart, their theme and the way that their website was set up, when someone hit add to cart, the tiniest little notification popped up in the corner and it flashed for like a second and then went away. And I'm thinking, okay, you have people who are 50 plus coming to your website. They're not seeing that. They're not as tech savvy as the younger generations are. So they're not understanding what's going on there. They're hitting add to cart thinking that they're going to go make that purchase. And then all of a sudden this little blip is happening that they're not even seeing. And they're like clicking it 100 times. Like people were clicking add to cart multiple times trying to buy the product, and they weren't able to because they didn't see this stupid little notification. So yeah, when we fixed that, all of a sudden they started getting conversions and selling their product, and everything was good, right? So 2 points here. One, look at your data and see where those like discrepancies are. If you're having a ton of add to carts and not a lot of purchases, something's wrong. Okay. And then 2, if you want to increase that add to cart to purchase, put them through the sales flow. Stop with those little notifications and the item has been added to your cart. Put them from add to cart into initiate checkout, and you're going to have a lot more success. So that's the concept right there that we really wanted to drive home. But look, the whole point of building out a funnel is so that you don't even have that problem in the first place, right? They come to your landing page, you get to sell them as much as you want with this big long ass page that basically handles all of their objections. And then as soon as they click that button, which is like, yes, I want it now, or buy it now, or whatever, we can call that the add to cart button. They go to the checkout page. They have order bumps right there that they can select. As soon as they check out, they're brought to an upsell page and a downsell page and an upsell page and a downsell page. There's no way out but through. So that's why the funnels are so freaking powerful.
Yeah. And with that, guys, just wanted to let you know, with some additions to our team recently, we've been able to add some services, and actually funnel building is one of those. So we now If you guys are interested, want a funnel, awesome sales funnel built out for your business, that is something we now offer. So hop on with us, shoot us a message, comment here, and we can set you guys up with an awesome sales funnel that'll do just that for your business and convert a whole lot more customers.
Yeah. Just quick, what do you call it? Disclaimer or something. The funnel build out is more based on structure and templatized, and then you can go in and actually put the words and whatnot in that fit your business. But we're going to give you a template, and basically in this template, we're going to tell you like what you should be saying in these different areas of that sales page so that you can convert the customer. So it's more of um, a guide that is built out for you and a structure that is built out for you, and then you go plug in these key pieces. Okay.
Yeah, we'll create and deliver you an account with essentially that structure, as Q mentioned, make it really easy for you guys to go in,
Yeah.
plug in your verbiage, connect the buttons to your guys' delivery systems, and from there hit go and convert more people on a daily basis and raise that average order value. So it's been really powerful for those that we've done it with and for so far. Excited to offer that to the rest of you guys. So let us know if you're interested in that.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things that we find the most is that people struggle with like creating a high converting landing page, essentially. So we've built that out. We have a structure that we use all the time that converts well. And so it's basically copy paste and fill out your words and you're good to go.
Awesome.
One other thing too, in addition to this, just to kind of wrap up the conversation though, is, again, when you're putting someone through that sales process and you have these order bumps and upsells and downsells and stuff, it just alleviates the stress of your testing in when you're running Facebook ads. And so again, for example, the client we were just working with, they wanted to see what it was like to send. Their funnel wasn't quite ready yet, so they wanted to see what it was like to send to their Shopify store, and so they're basically selling single items, and their cost per purchase is pretty high right now because they're just in their testing phase. They're just trying to figure out what audiences will buy, and so they're not. Let's say they're getting a $15 purchase on a $34 item. It's like, okay, like or a $20 purchase on a $34 item, and they've got their margins worked in there and everything. So it's a little bit like, oh my gosh, right? And so I was like, just wait until we start sending to your funnel, and that person who came in and bought didn't just buy a $34 item, they bought $100 worth of stuff, right? How much more excited are you going to be to go and test other audiences when you know your AOV is that much higher? And then you can go and you can like burn money on these different audiences and just be like, oh, okay, well, these are the best ones. And you can get like really crazy with your testing. And Cole and I are like insane with our testing. We'll test like 100 audiences and burn like $500 in a day on just tests, just to figure out what's going on, and then be like, boom, there's our winning audience, and we move on because we have our funnels dialed in. So
yeah, and then a couple people come through and spend $250, and look, we got all that money back. So
yeah, exactly.
that's the power of a funnel right there.
Exactly. So yeah, anyways, had a great time talking about this today. I'm just super pumped about this stuff and seeing the success of our clients so far with, building out these funnels and these little tweaks and optimizations that you can make that really make your Facebook ads work better. So cool.
Thanks, guys.
All right. See you guys later.